Okay, so boom. Greetings, everybody. It's Thursday, and I just recently watched the Avatar movie last night. Official title is The Legend of Aang, I think. No, it's Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender. That's the name of the movie. I want to start off by saying I feel terribly sorry for those who worked on the film over the last couple years. They made a good film. There was so much art and editing, etc. that had to go into filmmaking just for hackers to take the film and upload it to Twitter for free. That's extremely unfortunate. I feel sorry for anybody who was involved in that. With that said, the movie itself, it wasn't bad. It felt like it was a fun watch, but it felt very Disney Channel. Because of its pacing. The pacing was extremely fast, in my opinion. It was extremely fast, and the story was predictable. I'll say that. The story is predictable. The biggest knock that I have to have on the film is that the voice acting in the movie felt pretty flat. The emotional scenes that were being shown on film did not match the tones of the characters. A lot of times it sounded like they were reading off the prompter instead of actually feeling the moment. That was the biggest thing to me. But it was a good movie. I'll give it a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I feel comfortable saying that. And it was really nice seeing all our old heroes again as young adults. It brought back about a lot of nostalgia, but that was more of a nostalgia pull. I just really wish they would have made a more in-depth film. But I'm not gonna knock it. It was good for what it was supposed to be. Now, with that said, there's something I really want to talk about, and it has very little to do with the movie. The movie will be involved in it, so spoiler alert. No, I take it back. No spoilers. I think I can talk about this without giving up too much information. All right, so I want to start off by saying, y'all gonna get mad when I say this, but it's the truth. Avatar Korra fans are up 1,000. I just want to go ahead and let y'all know that right now. Avatar, after what I saw transpire on film, Avatar Korra, her fans are up 1,000. And what we mean by that is this movie was more ammunition to prove what I've been saying for the last, I want to say at least 2 years. Prove what I've been saying for the last 2 years. Avatar Aang is not a very good Avatar, and y'all need to stop pretending that he is just because he's the first one you've ever seen. He was not a good Avatar. He was not. Need I remind y'all, and this is all in the original series, what I'm about to say. Need I remind y'all that, yes, I understand Aang is a pacifist, but being a pacifist has nothing to do with being a coward. Aang was a coward. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I'm not talking about him not wanting to fight. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he ran from his responsibilities. Don't give me that crap about him being 12 years old. Because when Avatar Korra first found out she was the Avatar, she was what, 3 years old? And she already had control over three of the four elements. So let's not do that. He ran from his responsibilities. Y'all want to talk about Korra takes L's all the time. Nobody took more L's than Aang. His first major L was the biggest L we've probably seen ever from any Avatar. He plunged the world into 100 years of oppression because he ran from his responsibilities. Then, I'm going to say it again, he was a coward. He ran from every fight that he was in his original series. He got captured 5 or 6 times. He got beat up multiple times by non-benders. And he almost got killed twice. And if you're counting the movie with no spoilers, 3 times he got killed, basically. So we're not about to do that. Now we're talking about the villains that they faced. It's not even close. Korra faced way more deadly villains than he did. Y'all want to talk about L's? Y'all want to talk about facing powerful villains? Aang lost or got captured or ran from. I need y'all to listen to me when I say this. He lost to, got captured by, or ran from virtually every enemy he faced in his series. He ran from Admiral Zhao. He ran from Prince Zuko. He ran from Princess Azula. He ran from the Dai Li agents. He ran from Azula and her ragtag crew, May and Ty Lee. He ran from Combustion Man, and he ran from Fire Lord Ozai. He ran from everybody he ever faced. He only beat, if y'all remember correctly, he only beat one villain his entire show. He only beat one, and that was Fire Lord Ozai. He got whooped by Ty Lee, a non-bender. He got whooped by, I wouldn't say whooped. He got outsmarted and captured by the Freedom Fighters, the ones that were led by Jet. He ran from, well, I kind of understand him running from the Owl Spirit, because that thing was terrifying. His show was better, I'll give you that. But we got to stop acting like he was so much better than Korra, because to me, he was not, I'm not even going to use to me. In retrospect, he's a worse Avatar than Korra was. Yes, their personality traits are different. Korra is a hothead and she is reckless. That is true. Aang is a coward and he is foolhardy. So they balance out. I'm sorry. He is a coward. He said it himself. Now, to go into further detail, Korra faced enemies, again, that Aang never had to fight. Korra fought the Red Lotus. Everybody on that team was a trained killer. That was a unique group of warriors that the world pretty much had never seen. They had a female version of Combustion Man. They had Zahir. Don't even get me started on Zahir. They had trained killers everywhere. Aang never fought that. And then they just want to talk about how Korra got beat up by Kuvira. Kuvira is the second most powerful earthbender we've ever seen outside of Avatars. She's the second most powerful earthbender we've ever seen. The only one stronger than her was Toph. Wait, let's stop. Let's stop, bro. Then Amon was a bloodbender. The one that Aang faced, he didn't beat her. Katara did. And her name was Hama. Remember that witch that lived in the swamp? I think it was the forest, excuse me. Lived in the forest. He didn't do anything to, he didn't beat her. Katara did. Then, Katara, their names are so similar. Korra fought literal spirits. She fought literal spirits and a dude who imbued his body with the power of spirits. Aang ain't never fight nobody like that. He never fought anybody like that. And then with Zahir, I need y'all to understand something. Zahir was one of the most powerful airbenders ever. He unlocked airbending powers that we had not seen in centuries. Until this recent film, let me not say that. But Aang never fought anybody like that. I need y'all to understand that. Zahir could literally fly. Aang couldn't even do that as the Avatar. He couldn't even fly. This man was the most powerful airbender we've ever seen between the two shows and now the movie. Like, let's be for real now. Now, the real reason why people think, other than misogyny, because it is a lot of misogyny wrapped around this, I'm sorry, it's the truth. Outside of misogyny, the massive amount of hate that Korra gets is mostly because, one, the original series was written better and executed better than her series. Two, Avatar Aang's team is ridiculously great. Aang's team is ridiculously great. Let me remind y'all. So yes, Aang's the Avatar. His wife, well, girlfriend slash wife, she eventually became his wife. His girlfriend was a waterbending prodigy and became a master at like age 12, 13 years old. His brother-in-law, Sokka, wound up being a high-level military strategist. One of his best friends, Toph, was the most powerful earthbender ever outside of the Avatars. His other best friend was the son of the Fire Lord, and then eventually became the Fire Lord himself, and also one of the most powerful firebenders ever. And then another one of his friends that was on the team was literally the leader of the Kyoshi Warriors. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? Korra's team was nowhere near that stacked. So obviously they're gonna look worse by comparison. Yes, they had Asami, who was a genius. She's basically Bulma in their world. She was a genius, and she had advanced technology at her disposal that works through her father's factory, right? I understand that. Then she had Mako, who was a damn police officer. He was an okay firebender who could use lightning, but he was never anything special. Bolin was a fairly powerful earthbender, but he was a goofball and very foolhardy. That's a personality trait, I understand that. But he did invent lava bending, so I'm going to give him that one. She also had Chief Beifong on her team, which she was the daughter of Toph, but she was nowhere near as powerful as Toph. And then they had Tenzin, who was the son of Aang, but again, nowhere near as powerful as he was. Korra's team was worse, but she fought way more powerful beings. And I'm forgetting about Una. Well, I did mention Una a lot, but like, come on, y'all. Let's be real. The majority of the hate that Korra gets is because she's a woman, and because her show was the sequel. The sequel usually in all media pales in comparison to the original. That's most media. You know. Oh, there's some rare exceptions out there. Yes, Godfather Part 2, Terminator 2. There's some rare exceptions out there, but most of the time the sequel is worse. So we're not going to do that. And I'm going to say this one last thing. If Korra and Aang, from what we saw them as, we saw Aang as a 12-year-old and Korra's like 15 or 16, right? If the two of them fought at their strongest level from their shows, right? So book 3 Korra, book 3 Aang. If the two of them fought, Korra would have whooped Aang's ass. Anybody who don't agree with that is fooling themselves. She would have beat his ass. Need I remind y'all, Aang got whooped by damn near everybody he fought, including non-benders. When was the last time you seen Korra lose to a damn non-bender? She out here fighting powerful goddamn guardian spirits from the other world, fighting a man who had abilities we only seen two other people, Hama and Katara, had. This man had the ability to permanently block somebody's bending. Talking about Amon. Then again, she fought the second most powerful earthbender ever, who's a master metal bender. Aang never fought nobody like that. And then she fought a dude who had unlocked airbending powers we had never seen. Aang never fought nobody like that. So like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, come on now. If they would have fought, Korra would have beat his ass. Because y'all are forgetting, when we first saw them at the beginning of their shows, Aang could only airbend. His fault. Aang could only airbend. Korra had mastery over 3 different elements. She would have beat his ass. And he's not that great of a firebender. He mastered it like late in the series. He didn't even learn how to firebend until book 3. Korra was doing that shit when she was 3 years old. Like, come on, bro. And I don't give a damn what y'all say. The Jedis know I'm right about this one. Being a pacifist is a weakness in combat. Let me run it by you again. Being a pacifist is a weakness in combat, because not having killer instinct will get you killed. You holding back, you not wanting to fight, villains, your opponent will use that against you. Or have y'all like never seen any anime ever? When you hold back, you lose. Unless you're like Gojo or Sinbad or somebody, or the Wizard King Julius, or I think his last name is Nova Chrono or some shit like that. But unless you're like them, whatever, like ridiculously broken and shit, they don't have to try, then yeah. But like, no, usually when you hold back, you lose the fucking fight. Hello, Goku. Like, come on now. That is a weakness in the fight. And again, with him running from his responsibilities, I don't want to hear shit about him being a child. I don't want to hear shit about that. Because Monk Gyatso raised Aang and taught him everything he knows, right? So for all intents and purposes, he was an air nomad himself. He also was a pacifist. But did y'all see one of the opening sequences of that show when they finally went back to where his people were? And they saw Monk Gyatso's corpse, his skeleton laying there? You know what was laying next to Monk Gyatso's skeleton? A bunch of dead firebenders. When it's time to box, Monk Gyatso boxed. And he took, what? It was about 10 of them in there? He took like 10 different firebenders with him. They jumped him and lost. Eventually, he got overwhelmed, yes, because they jumped him. But he went out fighting. That's not the same thing. He was also a pacifist. That's not what I'm talking about. Aang was a coward. We got to stop pretending that he was a better avatar than Korra. No, the hell he was not. Korra was the one who brought back the air nomads. She brought them back. not Aang. She brought him back. Korra was the one who bridged the spirit world with the living world. That was her. Korra reunited Republic City after Amon took over with the Equalists. Like, come on now. Meanwhile, Aang, let me not say that again. That was also about to be a spoiler. But y'all got to stop, bro. Y'all got to stop. Y'all glazed Aang only because he was the first Avatar we saw. Had it been flipped, it would have been the other way around. Y'all would have been trashing Aang and praising Korra. Aang gets way too much praise. Korra gets way too much hate. Excuse me. She gets way too much hate. She's like Sakura from I don't know why I said it like that. Sakura from Naruto gets way too much hate when she actually fucking fights, and she is highly essential to the show. It's the same thing. Most of her hate comes from misogyny. And with that, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I put Korra over Aang from what I've seen. She fought way more villains. She has fought way deadlier villains. She has way more feats that she accomplished. And yes, her being more prone to violence is an advantage that she has in combat over Aang. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. That's what I took from it. That's what I took from it.